Who would win in a fight? If that isn't the second most asked question here at Idea Shock, then I don't know what is. It's probably that, because that's like all the channel's done so far. And the most asked question being, what am I doing with my life? Anyway, if you're watching this, then you probably ask yourself that question too. Not the, what am I doing with my life? The other one, the who would win in a fight. So when NetherRealm and Warner Brothers released the Injustice games, a lot of people thought that this would help settle debates forever. But in reality, any character could beat any other character at any time. So in the end, the outcome was up to you. Or the 12-year-old who whips you when you play online. You hear me, Ralph? I'm coming for you. Needless to say, it didn't really solve any versus questions. However, there was something that was ingrained in the game itself that the player had no control over. And that thing is super moves. But whose super move is actually the strongest and will do the most damage? Who actually reigns supreme? Hey Internet, Jojo here, and welcome to Idea Shock, the only place on the Internet that is as random as it is awesome. Today we're taking a look at both of the Injustice games to discover which of the super moves is the most dangerous. And now, I'm not talking about the number in the game, but the actual damage they would give and receive in real life. If you want to know who special does the most damage in the game, according to Screen Rant, that's Captain Cold. Who knew? But today, I'm looking at these attacks and seeing what the effect would be if they happened in real life. Now would be the perfect time for explaining the story, but considering that the story boils down to Batman good, Superman angry, bad, I don't think it's really necessary for me to tell a synopsis here.
Alright everyone, chill.
It's still a really good game, and if you want to check that out, there's trailers everywhere, just look it up. So now that we know why we're here, we need to press onward to math. To find the most dangerous super move, we first have to narrow down the list of competitors by removing characters that are definitely not in the top tier. So right from the start, most non-superhuman characters are eliminated from the running. Sorry, Batman. Now before you click away, just know that this is an essential step to do if we want to find the most powerful super moves. So now that it's down between gods, aliens, and kings, royalty, sure. But even after that, we still need to cut it down even farther. So we cut the list down even more, down to just 10 of the cast from both of the Injustice games. Now we have our top 10, but for simplicity's sake, I'll go into depth with just the top 5, and I'll list the other 5 at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Sweet, let's start the countdown. In 5th place we have Sinestro. In his super move, Sinestro teleports his opponent to space, and then he proceeds to blast them back down to Earth with a laser. This takes about 1.5 seconds, and using the Earth in the background, not Surth, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, we can tell that the Earth is just about 10,841 miles away. Using both these variables, we can find that the speed the opponent impacts in the Earth with is over 64,500,000 miles per hour. Since the variables don't change no matter how heavy the opponent is, means that the energy released when used against the heaviest opponent, Darkseid, should be about 82 megatons of TNT. This is about 5,466 times stronger than the little boy bomb that America dropped on Japan at the end of World War II. And that's just 5th place. It's only going to go up from here. Now in 4th place is a character from the first Injustice game, General Zod. With power that far exceeds that of Sinestro, Zod grabs his opponent and flies through the moon. Through the moon. And then he just blasts him back with his heat vision. Like, what? Anyway. The distance between the Earth and the Moon is about 238,900 miles, or about 384,000 kilometers. It takes about 1.2 seconds for Zod to blast his opponent back down to Earth. From this, we can find an impact speed of 717 million miles per hour, or 1,154,000,000 kilometers per hour. The impact force of Darkseid hitting the Earth at this speed would be over 10 gigatons of TNT. This is 200 times larger than the largest ever deployed hydrogen bomb, the Russian Tsar Bomba. And this doesn't even include the power needed to punch all the way through the moon. How many more on this list? Oh, this is just number 4, so yeah. Great, 3 more. Okay. Can't be that much more powerful than this, can it? Sliding into 3rd place with the bronze medal is Doomsday. In Doomsday's special, he grabs his opponent and digs all the way through the earth and back by punching them. A lot. Now, assuming that the hole that Doomsday punched is about 10 feet by 10 feet, we can find out the exact amount of energy needed to go all the way through the earth and back. Some of the best numbers I could find stated that it takes about 30,000 megajoules to fragment 1 cubic foot of granite. Considering that the Earth itself is 7,917.5 miles in diameter, it would mean that it takes about 15.3 gigatons to go all the way through the Earth and back. This is a little more than a magnitude 10 earthquake. This kind of earthquake would be felt all the way around the world and cause millions of deaths. No wonder NetherRealm took him out of Injustice 2, he's just far too OP. In 2nd place, and the only human in the top 5, is Lex Luthor. In Lex's special, he catches a laser and then throws it at his opponent. This causes an explosion so big that it can be seen from space. Comparing the explosion to the size of the Earth in the background, we can tell it's over 500 miles wide or 880 kilometers. A conservative look at this explosion gives us a yield of about 38 gigatons of TNT. This is over twice the energy of a magnitude 10 earthquake. This is enough to cause a global quake that we felt on every continent of the world. What's with this game? These characters are just ridiculously powerful. Now to the number 1. What? Huh? Oh. The camera corgis are telling me to ask you to comment on which is the coolest super move in either both of the Injustice games or just one of them. And while you're at it, why don't you like and subscribe for more over-analysis of fictional characters? If you don't do it for me, do it for the corgis. But seriously, please like and subscribe, or they will eat my face off. And we're back with number 1. Number 1 is Supergirl. And I'm just gonna let you see her special. Supergirl grabs her opponent and flies them to the sun. The sun. That's a lot farther than the moon. The distance between the Earth and the sun is measured in AU, not like gold, but AU as in astronomical units, and 1 AU is 93 million miles. Supergirl travels that distance in just about 3.11 seconds. This puts her flight speed at over 108 billion miles per hour. However, her power truly shines when she blasts her opponent back down to Earth in only 5 seconds. This puts the speed of impact at about 67 billion miles per hour, with the energy from the impact being over 88 teratons of TNT. This is about 5,768 times stronger than Doomsday's Earth-wrecking special move. This move would cause a catastrophe greater than anything Earth has ever experienced, and would possibly kill every life form on Earth. You know, aren't games just so fun?
Can we panic now?
But now it's not the time for fear. That comes later. Now, how much later? I don't know. Depends on when we get there. But for right now, let's list off the top 10 most deadly super moves in both of the Injustice games. In 10th place, there is Superman from the first game, with a speed of just over 1 million miles per hour and a force of about 21.3 kilotons of TNT. In 9th place is Black Adam with a lightning bolt explosion that destroys the pyramids and that is equal to about 50 kilotons of TNT. 8th place is Starfire, who blasts her opponent into space and then flies at a speed of about 12 million miles per hour and then explodes with a force of 100 kilotons of TNT. In 7th is Darkseid, whose super move does about 2.83 megatons of TNT, slightly more deadly, but it's not going to raise him an entire rank. In 6th place is the Flash. The Flash runs all the way around the world at a speed of 53 million miles per hour and punches his opponent in the face with the impact force of 6 megatons of TNT. Just think of that next time you're using this on your best friend and you're playing together. You won't be after that. He dead, son! And the last 5 are the ones we already covered in this list. So, there you have it. The top 10 most destructive super moves in Injustice 1 and 2. Now in closing, if you have any suggestions of characters or feats from characters that you want me to analyze, leave a comment with the character's name and what game, show, anime, comic, whatever they're from, and I'll be sure to read it, and we'll see what happens, man. That's all for today, guys. See you next time. JoJo out.